Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night. My name is Mitchell Coleman. I'm an alcoholic. I have your daily reflections for October 6th. This one is titled Facing Ourselves. And fear says, You dare not look. From the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 49. And continues, How often I avoided a task in my drinking days just because it appeared so large. Is it any wonder, even if I have been sober for some time, that I will act that same way when faced with what appears to be a monumental job, such as a searching and fearless moral inventory of myself? What I discover after I have arrived at the other side, when my inventory is completed, is that the illusion was greater than the reality. The fear of facing myself kept me at a standstill, and until I became willing to put pencil to paper, I was arresting my growth based on an intangible. No, it's good. Again, this one is going off of step 10, and step 10 and step 8 are pretty much the same thing. Step 8 made a list of all persons we'd harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Then step 9, make amends to such people whenever possible. And step 10, continue to take personal inventory of ourselves, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Kind of like, if we left something out, or, we're going to continue to make mistakes. So we want to stay on top of that as often as we can. So I wrote down some things that I've done and what I got from this. Write down what we have done to harm others. This is part of the stuff my sponsor had me do. Who had harmed us, and write down how were we at fault and what could we have done differently to achieve an alternate outcome. Because a lot of the times these resentments that we're holding towards other people are things we could have done differently ourselves, but our ego will stand in the way, and we'll want to hold on to that resentment and anger and blame the other person for what it was. For me, when I looked at these character defects, I had wrote down was the moment I saw what I could have done differently and what I needed to work on and what I needed to change. So, lots of examples of things I had done wrong, but I could have handled situations a lot different than I did, and our tongue can do a lot of damage as well. So there's times where we say things spur of the moment that we shouldn't have said that can cause someone else pain. There's a whole lot of things that I don't need to get into detail about, but once you actually write these things down and you see what you did and how you could have reacted different, that's when you could see what you need to work on. Just quitting drinking or quitting using drugs is just the beginning. This is a whole change of life altogether. So once you get to that point, that's when the real healing and learning can start, because we're changing ourselves. We have to change. The only thing you have to change is everything, they say, and it's true, but it's all beneficial, and it'll make your life a lot better. Also, talking about the big tasks that we used to put off, I would do that all the time. Find these things. I would put off going to the dentist. I would put off buying a car, and I would put off saving money, and those are all very important things. Because as an alcoholic, though, I would make up an excuse. Say, like, I'd have a tooth get chipped, I'd go get a temporary. In my mind, I'm like, well, this is just a temporary. And I would never go back, and I would wait, and I would just not want to go spend that money at the dentist. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, this is going to cost me like $700, $800, whatever the case may be. So I would be like, I don't have that money. I'll have it eventually. I'll save it. I'm going to go to the bar because I have enough money to go get drunk today. So that's a good example. Same with buying a car. Like, I would sometimes think other people were going to help me get that. And I would blame other people even sometimes, see, like, well, why does that person get a car, or someone in your family gets a car? And it's like, that's not anything to do with me. I'm the one that needs to do this. I'm a grown person, and I'm making my own decisions, and I don't blame anyone for not helping me with a lot of things. I never asked for much because I also let my ego stand in the way. Just like with anything, my addiction, I didn't want to ask for help until I finally had to get that help that I knew I always needed. Anyway, also living paycheck to paycheck, and for what? like, why would I do that? Because I was too into getting drunk and drinking and blowing money on stupid things. And I was talking to my dad about it. And the example again with my tooth, it's like I have a chipped tooth, yet I'm at the bar drinking, and that just shows you what's more important to me in that moment. My self-esteem was definitely affected by that, but I was just like, whatever, I want to get drunk, and then not think about it, instead of doing what I know I need to do, which is be patient, save money, and go take care of these things I need to take care of. Finishing these goals is such a good feeling, and I have some examples of that. Again, it would be, buying that car feels great because I've been there before, and you get that vehicle and you're like, I did it. Having a smile to be proud of. I'm very happy right now because I've spent a lot of money on my mouth just getting it good again, because I've had things over the years that just sucked. Having money for emergencies, that's good to always have a little bit of money put away, and I'm very proud about that. These are all things that I could not have done without Alcoholics Anonymous and my recovery and my changing of my life. It just feels great, and it's the promises that they talk about in Alcoholics Anonymous. I also use an example of that feeling of accomplishing something. Skateboarding. Say I'll try a trick for hours, and then I finally land that trick. That feeling is undescribable. It's better than any feeling that I've ever felt from drinking or drugging or whatever. And I think it's just that human instinct of we want to complete something. We like difficult tasks, and it feels good, and that's why it's good to set these little goals, because we set those goals and we accomplish them, and we get this feeling that is undescribable. And I ask myself, like, what do I do to hold myself back? Who is in charge of changing that? And what can I do about it? So it's pretty much, it's us, whatever's holding us back. If it's something within our power to change, then we need to buckle down and change that. Oh, jeez. Ranger! No. Also, we have, sorry, very distracting. Ranger, no! Let me get back on point here. What do you do to hold yourself back? Who's in charge of changing that? What can you do about it? Okay. Also, doing these little goals here, we got like we all have a little light in us. Even the little things we do have effects that we will not even see in other people. So these little goals that we might do. I heard an example of even cleaning a room. Cleaning a room in a dirty house. That sets an example, because then people see that and they might be like, hey, I want to clean my room too. So it's like a residual effect that it will help other people. I also think of the example of at work. Sometimes I'll be working really hard. I tend to work really hard, and I'll get resentful, like no one's noticing it. And why should that change the way I'm working? That's who I am. If someone's not noticing it, then that's not my fault. That's someone will notice it, and other people will see it, and you're working hard, and that's who you are anyway. You shouldn't let your ego, again, it's your ego sitting there, I deserve more because I'm doing this. No, you're choosing to do more, and if you expect something to come from it, then you're going to be let down, because most likely that's not going to happen. That's just the way it is, especially in the workplace sometimes. But they also, I read in a book, it's a term called antibuelo. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's called being a Pathfinder. That's what the term means. And it's you set people up to succeed. So even if you're doing a bunch of extra little stuff that, say, your manager's supposed to be doing or something, you're making that easier for the manager, and that is good, and that will reflect down on you as well, even with the manager. So we're all connected, and we can all help each other, and these are just examples of other good little tasks. So in your mind, you're completing something good, you're helping someone else, and you should never expect anything back in return for doing something kind. And I think that's so cool because we are all connected and we can all help each other. And even just that little bit of help, we might not see the effects of it, but it's there. It's pretty amazing, I think. So that's a good thing, to stay out of our heads and just let our ego run wild. What we deserve and what we expect. Really, we should just be thankful and grateful that we're even here. And being nice to people is great, and we should try to do something nice for someone every single day. It just is a good way to live life, I think. And I got a couple other points here. I learn from everyone. I learn from everyone I can. I do not know everything. My ego will block that sometimes. Like, I feel like I'm cheating when I make these videos because I sit there and study a whole bunch of other books and people, and I'm writing down stuff. Like, I never want these ideas to come across as my own, because they're not. And if you think about it, in life, everything has came from someone else, and there's nothing wrong with me learning from other people, because that's what I want to do, is help other people. And these people have helped me, and that's the only way we're going to grow. But for myself, my ego would be like, man, I'm kind of ripping these people off or something. It's not. We're just reading, and that's what it's meant to be there for. Just as I hope I'm helping at least one person with these videos. I just want to help people, and that's it. I'm learning a lot from others, like the author Ryan Holiday, Jordan Peterson I've been listening to, Bill W., of course, and many others. That's how we learn. We learn from other people. We learn from their accomplishments. We also learn from our own mistakes and other people's mistakes as well. That's just how we grow. So we have to be understanding that we're going to suffer. Life is suffering. But that's the way we learn. And if we weren't that way, we would just be robotic. We would all be blah, very boring. These growing pains are very important, and it's what helps us become better people in this short life. So I just continue to ask myself, how much can I learn today? What can I learn today? And we all have those tough days, but we got to set these little goals. We got to let go of that baggage. We got to also just continue to take that daily personal inventory of ourselves and see who we had wronged. We don't want to go to bed being mad at someone. We don't want things to fester, because the longer things fester, the more people can come up with their own ideas of what's really going on, and it can get worse and worse. And we can nip those in the bud pretty quick. I also got some stuff from we got here the Daily Stoic book that I've been reading. This is by author Ryan Holiday. It's got a couple good quotes in it that I wanted to say. This one is looking out for each other. It's in keeping with nature to show our friends affection and to celebrate their advancement as if it were our very own. For if we don't do this, virtue, which is strengthened only by exercising our perceptions, will no longer endure in us. By Seneca. And that's, again, like I'm saying, let people know they're doing a good job. Just like at work, if a boss comes up and tells you you're doing good, I just wanted to let you know. It's not like you're getting a raise or anything, but just that kind word feels great. I tend to work a lot better when someone comes up and says, hey, just let you know you're doing a great job. I work even harder. And that's what we can do with anything. If you know someone that's struggling with something, that's having a tough time, even just a quick little, hey, hope you're doing well. I think you're doing a great job. Hang in there. Little words of kindness go a long way with people. Also, be careful of how much what we're saying, what will we regret. So we gotta, again, always remember, so we don't have to make all these inventory lists all the time. Think about what we're saying. Are we gonna regret what we said? Because I'm still guilty of saying these things sometimes. Right after I'll say it, I'll send a message and be like, whoops, why did I even do that? Another good one, better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. I like that one. Also, I begin to speak only when I'm certain what I'll say isn't better left unsaid. And finally, another one from Seneca is, silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life. And I get that, because I've said some really stupid things and now I've learned from them. So I would rather be silent than say things, especially if it's things I know that what the outcome will be. It won't be good. It won't change anything. It'll cause more damage than do any good at all. So let's just remember, be kind to people. Let's make inventory lists of ourselves. Let's apologize if we've been wrong. Let's not go to bed tonight being mad at someone. Let's try to close these chapters, and let's just have a good day. Do something good. Stay positive. Love you guys. Peace out.